Hello my dears, so this is Maria Roslin from Phoenix YouTube channel. So hope you would have seen my other videos on software testing lifecycle. We have seen, we are seeing the phases in order. We have seen the requirement analysis, the test planning and the test design techniques has been done. So in test design technique, I was stressing upon these two terms, which is this equivalence partitioning and boundary value analysis. So I thought, why not put a separate video on these two? The reason being, no, whether you go for any interview, be it no, be a testing fresher or 2 years, 3 years, 5 plus, 10 plus years, the tester should be knowing this. Any interviewer would expect a tester should be knowing this test design technique. So it is like a guarantee given to the interviewer. Oh, okay, this tester is aware of all these things. Even the interviews which I have attended in personal, and also the people whom I have interviewed so far, I would also love to know whether the person is aware of these two. So I just thought maybe I can put an interview. I would frankly say that few testers, yes, they are clear of what is this, and no, they'll be able to explain. But few get confused. Few people will not even be aware of it. So no, going through this particular thing on the test design technique would be a helpful an added advantage when you go and face the interview. So let me say, no, the equivalence partitioning and boundary value analysis, these two terms, it is not like no, it works independently. They work in hand to hand. So once you do the equivalence partitioning, this is benefited only when you do a boundary value analysis. So these both goes in hand to hand. So let me explain these concepts with few examples. There are two ways in which you can understand this equivalence partitioning. So we'll move on to that. First, let us assume there is a username field. Okay. So normally these username field accepts characters from say 8 to 20 maximum. 20 maximum characters. All right. So now there is a requirement, okay, from the client. So you're reading this, the username should have a minimum of 8 characters and a maximum of 20 characters. So as a tester, now you're thinking like how you're going to validate this username field. So you have the positive scenarios. You will go anywhere between 8 to 20, correct? So you will give characters between 8 to 20, and this will be your positive case. Okay, fine. So this is done. So one section is done. So the positive scenario is working fine for you. Now you have to check for the negative scenario also. As I've already told you, the testing is doesn't mean only testing the happy path and everything is moving fine. That alone doesn't reap you any solution, but you have to go in for your negative things also. So the negative will be the first one, first negative, what you're going to see is going to be which is less than 8 characters. Yeah. So if the field is going to accept between 8 to 20, the first scenario is going to be anything lesser than 8, there should be a warning message that has to be thrown. And the second negative is going to be anything more than 20 characters. Correct? So 20 to infinity, you can go on, but there's going to be anyways a cursor restriction, or anyways after 20 you will move on for 4 to 5 characters extra, and then you can come to a conclusion. So this particular positive scenario is going to be one equivalence partitioning class. Yeah. Or this is going to be your first class. This negative is going to be your second equivalence partitioning class, and this is again going to be your third equivalence partitioning class. So for a simple username field, you have one positive class and two negative classes. So only when you do all these things, so you're choosing anywhere, I'm just giving you a rough example. So maybe for testing something between 8 to 20, I'm choosing somewhere between 12, I'm putting a username, 15, I'm putting a username, or no, even 8, I'm putting as a username, and it all should be passing. I'll tell you like what these values are actually mentioning. Okay, so I will tell you that in detail, but for example, I'm just choosing 3 positive values, and lesser than 8, maybe I'll go for 2. Okay, I'm just checking for a least one. Maybe I'll give no characters at all somewhere. I don't know, maybe giving an 7, a 3 character, 3 values. No, 3, we always sum up with 3 values, and negative more than 20, maybe I have to put say 25 somewhere and 30 somewhere, and it is anyways going to be throwing errors. So 55, if you're patient enough, you can go even to that. So these are some of the example values I'm giving. So we have decided on 3 classes. So one being your positive range and 2 negative ranges you have chosen, and I have given few examples of values which we will discuss in detail when we are dealing with this boundary value analysis. Okay, so this is case 1. Maybe I'll put this as case 1, where you just have one uh, no character range, and this is your case 1, and you have come up with 3 equivalence class. So I'm again iterating. So the positive value which you have chosen from 8 to 20 is going to be your one positive equivalence partitioning class, and the negative lesser than 8 characters is going to be your negative equivalence partitioning class, and the other one is above the range which is greater than 20 characters is going to be your second equivalence partitioning class. So equally you have partitioned. Fine. So this is case 1. So moving on to case 2. Okay, let me tell you a short scenario where you are moving to a supermarket. Okay, you're going to a supermarket, and in the supermarket you find a board in front of the shop saying that any customer who's gonna purchase between 1000 to 3000 rupees is gonna have a 5% discount on the whole value, and from 3001 to 5000 is gonna have a 15%, and sorry 10%, and from 8001 to 10000 is gonna have 15%, and from 8001 to 10000 is gonna have 20% discount. Okay, so this is the board that you are seeing in front of a supermarket. So you are going to validate an application which is going to give these discounts directly to the customer's bill. All right, so you have number of scenarios, right? So in this you have to give the partitioning classes. So how are you going to do? Maybe I'll just go. So from 1000 rupees, so the discount is starting from 1000, right? So 1000 to 3000 is going to be a 5% discount, and from 3001 to 5000 is going to be 10% discount, and from 5001 to we'll go for 8000. No, we said 8000. So 8000 we are giving a 15% discount, and from 8001 to 10000 maybe, or to 10000 you can go in for 20%, and anything greater than 10000, maybe we can have one scenario like that also. So anything greater than 10000 is going to have a 25% discount. Okay, so you have these scenarios, you have these data. So for me, this is going to be my first EVP. Okay, equivalence partitioning. So this is going to be my first EVP. Same way, this is going to be my second EVP, and this will be my third EVP. Yeah, EVP here means equivalence partitioning, or equivalence partitioning. They also call it as equivalence class, equivalence partitioning class. Now whichever term is referred to you, all this means the same, and this is going to be your fifth EVP. All right, so now we have the positive cases itself. We have 5 classes, imagine, and for a rough value, if you're going to take from 1000 rupees till 10000 rupees, you're almost going to have 9001 value, correct? 9001 values you're going to have, and also you have something more than 10000 also, which is going to run for infinity. So you have to have few test cases for that also. So if this such a scenario is given to you, then an authenticate tester will start giving the values like, we'll start from 1000 is the minimum value, then we'll go on for 1001, then we'll move on for 1002, 1003, 1004, so on and so forth. All right. Even if the tester is going to take some 1,000 values, okay, starting from 1,000 to 1,999 or 2,000, even if it is going to be 1,000 values, just imagine we are still validating only the first case. Yes, because the range is from 1,000 to 3,000. So even if you're going to take the first 1,000 values, it is going to be only in the first positive case or first positive class. You still have 4 more EVPs to validate. So how are you going to rectify this? So how are we going to come up, come over this challenge? So even if you're going to write 1,000 test cases with 1,000 values, only one class has been validated where you are going to have only the 5% discount. So there are still more 10, 15, 20 and 25% to be validated. So how are you going to validate this? So the solution is going to be in your next video. Please keep supporting Phoenix channel. Subscribe to this channel so that you will get more updates on your testing techniques. Be a phoenix, fly high so that no one even imagines to touch you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.